Tim, I was wondering, in regard to Ham, was there anything specific you thought he needed to add to his game for this season?
Yeah, we were able to get a lot of feedback from some of the NFL scouts, and then just had some time in the offseason to do a good review on what he had done last year. And we felt like he needed to get, add around 10 to 12 pounds of good weight. And he was able to do that and is carrying it real well right now in camp. And so he's closer to 245 to 250 as opposed to last year when he was around 235. And, that was one of the areas. And then improve his power rush moves from being able to convert speed to power into bull rushing and those more physical pass rush moves.
In regard to Anjay, does he look fully back from his injury of a year ago?
Yeah, he's been able to practice and hasn't had any issues with his foot at all. And so we're pleased that he's been able to get out there and do what he's been able to do so far.
Regarding Jeremy Reichner, where does he fit in?
Oh, well, Jeremy wasn't available today, but, he got to figure out where he's going to fit in with just like a bunch of the other guys.
Tim, how are you feeling about the overall depth of the defense, and who are some of those guys who maybe stepped up and kind of created some of that depth for you?
Well, I definitely feel like we've got better depth than we had last year at this time. We got a lot more guys who've played in games and are more proven, and we're continuing to try to build that depth as we go along. And, maybe some of the guys that didn't play a ton last year or redshirted or weren't here that are kind of, adding to the mix would be like James Rawls, Kyrie Fisher, Jack Coletto now being able to play the whole season for us this coming year. And then on the back end, Akili Arnold and Alton Julian would be another one. And those guys have really shown up in practice that you notice them. That maybe people haven't seen them play a ton of football for us yet.
Quick question back to Reichner. Has he been available the early part of practice? Was it just today a one-off?
He has not been available.
With regard to Coletto, Coach, what does he bring to the defense, and how would you assess his status in your linebacker rotation?
Well, he's actually the biggest inside linebacker in the room, and he's got really good speed for his size, and he's a smart football player, being a former quarterback, and so he's been able to pick up the defense and learn the techniques really well. And so he brings some speed, some physicality, and football intelligence to the inside backer position, which has been awesome.
Tim, can you just kind of update us on how the secondary specifically is doing? How are those JUCO guys mixing in after a week and a half, and how's the group as a whole coming together?
Yeah, as a whole, I think we're playing better and we're making more breaks on the ball. We're getting more hands on the ball. We're getting more deflections. We're getting more interceptions than certainly we got last year at this time. I think those junior college guys have done a nice job of acclimating themselves in. They've got a little steeper learning curve than the guys that are returning, but they've done a nice job of picking up the defense.
Tim, with Hamilcar, what kind of leader is he? More lead by example or more vocal? And how have you kind of seen him going about being a leader?
Yeah, I think Ham's true nature is a little bit more of a leader by example. And he's going to go and take care of his business and make sure that he's playing at a really high level. But, you've seen him grow over the last 2 years and kind of be willing to say something when he feels it's necessary. And so that's been a positive for him to be able to exert that leadership now as a veteran player for us.
Following the scrimmage, Coach mentioned that there were a lot of fourth down stops from the defense. So has that been something you guys have been working on camp following, I guess, last season with those close games to make sure that the offense isn't getting any opportunities?
Well, yeah, one of our big points of emphasis We really had 3 coming out of last season. The first one was to create more takeaways. The second one was to win on money downs. And by money downs, we mean 3rd down and 4th down, and be able to get the offense off the field. Our percentages on those downs were not at the level that we need them to be to play a really good defense. And so they have been a emphasis area since the offseason all the way into this year. It was great to see that happen on Saturday. I think we had 6 stops on 4th down, which are huge. Those are like takeaways. And so, I think you're seeing a trend in college football and NFL football. More and more offenses are going for it on 4th down. And so we need to get better at getting those stops on 4th down because they're occurring more often in games.
That's all we do.
I appreciate you.
Hey, I was wondering if you could just kind of give us a little insight on the games of Alton Julian, Rajon Wright, and Ron Hardage, since we really haven't seen any of those players.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see them too. They're doing good. They're kind of grinding through camp. That's kind of where we are right now from with camp. So, we're making some plays, we're making some strides, kind of increasing football IQ as we go. But I'm happy with where we are. Not yet where we need to be though.
Coach, just kind of talking about the depth now that you have with the multiple guys being able to play lots of different positions and kind of being able to pick and choose spots and matchups and whatnot.
Man, the depth, it's always good, to have some depth, have some guys that you can put at different spots to take on different roles in our defense. So from that aspect, it's been a pleasant surprise to watch guys just kind of emerge in their new roles.
Blue, what do you think you can do with this group of defensive backs that maybe you couldn't do a year ago?
Hopefully the plan is just to get more turnovers. I think that has to be our kind of key or our contribution to the defense. Like, we have to do a better job. I have to do a better job just kind of making sure we maximize the opportunities that we have in terms of taking the ball away. So the good thing about it is all these guys are in the secondary are conscious about it. We go out every day seeking to set a record in terms of how many balls we can get our hands on. So that's just kind of the thing right now, just having the ability to give the ball back to our offense. I think that's going to be critical as we move forward.
Where is that line though when you're looking to get takeaways and making plays where you might miss a tackle if you're going after the ball? Where is that line for you?
Well, I think if we doing it right, you gotta make a play on the ball when you have it. When in doubt, I think you secure the tackle before you go after the ball. That way, you don't just turn guys loose. You don't just run past ball carriers or potential ball carriers.
Coach, which guys are standing out to you right now as big hitters or guys that are ball hawks? Who's kind of stood out?
I think we're all kind of just in a big pack right now. I think we're doing a great job with the older guys, the guys that's been here, and just motivating and just showing the newer guys how we do business, so to speak. So I think right now we're moving as a pack, which is awesome. I think every man is kind of making strides to kind of increase their game, their productivity as we move forward.
Blue, how significant is it to have a fully healthy David Morris back, and what does he kind of add to this defense when he's there?
He's kind of the old man, if you will. He's a guy that has been here, that has seen the ups and downs of the program. So he provides wisdom, leadership to some of the guys that are just getting on board.
Hey, Isaac. First, you're now without Big Brother here. How is it just being on your own and being a leader now on the team?
It gets lonely at times outside of the program. It's kind of hard having him all the way across the country, but it's just being able to know that he's just a phone call away, it's not that bad. You know, still have family around, and you know, it's been an adjustment, but it's been going great.
Isaac, how are you feeling about the depth along the defensive line, and maybe who are some of those guys that are stepping up to create some depth there?
Well, we're feeling good about it. We've got a lot of young guys who we still have to kind of mold into what our D line is as a culture. You know, we feel good. We got James Rawls coming up, Corey Stover, Alex Skelton, Cody Anderson, you know, Simon, obviously, and then, you know, just as a whole D-line trying to mold together that culture of who we want to be as a group. I think that's just the most important thing.
Isaac, was size and strength two of the biggest things you felt like you needed to add to your game during the off season?
I mean, strength is always kind of something I've always kind of had. You know, that's you know, like obviously being a shorter guy, you can't really add inches. So you got to add strength and speed and quickness. So those are the things I kind of like to rely on in my game. Then obviously just, you know, being a student of the game and being able to get an edge on offenses and O-lines whatever way possible.
How is the O-line doing? You go up against them every day. They're having some growing pains. How have you seen their progress?
No, I think they're stepping up. Like I think right now it's just an iron sharpens iron kind of thing. And you know, like if you know, we always talk about it, but if they don't come out to play, we got to beat them up. So then they step up, and then if we don't come out to play, they got to beat us up. So we got to step up. So it's just kind of give and take kind of thing. But they're coming together, and they're starting to look solid. So.
Isaac, some of the offensive guys have been really complimentary of Simon. How have you kind of seen him improve this fall?
Yeah, he's improved a lot. I mean, you know, just being able to have a full, like a good amount of experience under his belt and being able to come into the season healthy, you know, has been able to help him for sure.
Isaac, you guys had your first scrimmage last week and you have another one this coming Saturday. So how do you prepare differently from last week to this week in terms of goals from the defense and knowing what you guys have to do and the expectations from your coaches?
I think it stays the same. It's just come out and work every day and be consistent. And then obviously we focus on taking the ball away. So just coming out with the mindset that we want to take the ball away and give the ball back to our offense. So, I mean, just preparing the same way and just – you know, trying to get better each and every week.
Isaac, with Ham, is he, as far as being a leader, is he more lead by example or vocal? And how have you kind of seen him go about being a leader?
Ham. I'd say he's more lead by example, honestly. Definitely just like working out extra, doing extra reps and stuff like that. You know, I think, you know, I don't think it matters which way you lead as a leader, honestly, but it just matters that you're out there leading. And, you know, so I see him lead by example for sure.
Hey, Ham, I was wondering when you broke down video of the way you played last year, what did you think? What did you think you did well at? What did you think you needed improvement with?
Honestly, I feel like my game will always need more work, even if I'm doing good or I'm doing bad. I feel like little steps can always be big steps, you know, like footwork, hand placement and stuff like that. That's always a big thing I could use more help on. And I think like just staying lower, you know, sometimes you raise up, get higher and, you know, not do as great. And that's the difference from getting a sack or getting a tackle for loss or getting a hurry. I feel like the little things, the little details are the big things right now.
It sounds like you added 10 to 12 pounds of weight. How has that helped your game?
I believe I could hold the edge more rather than what I was already doing. I don't see myself losing any speed or anything like that. I feel like I'm managing well and I feel great. So I'm doing real good.
Why did you decide to come back?
Obviously, I feel like I wasn't done yet, and my team, of course, needs me. I feel like I'm supposed to be here. You know, God put me on this earth to play another year. I'm going to finish my career. That's the big thing. I feel like I wasn't just gonna leave my team hanging. You know, I'm a person. I'm a team player. You know, I want to be here for my team and the guys that look up to me. You know, I want to give them something to look up to when they're getting older.
Cam, how are you feeling about the depth in your unit, and who are maybe some of those guys who are stepping up to kind of create some of that depth?
Obviously glad having Andre back. He's a big key. Tago, Addison, everybody. I feel like everybody has their own role and everybody's mastering their role. You know, not everybody can start, not everybody can play, but obviously everybody's going to have their own role and they're going to have to do it either way. I feel like everybody's doing good. We have leaders coming back and we have even young people trying to step up and work. So I think we're doing pretty good.
Ham, two weeks into camp, how are you feeling? How's your body feeling?
Obviously getting used to the weight. I feel good overall though. You know, I came back thinking not sure what's gonna happen with my hand. You know, we didn't have spring ball. So, you know, I feel pretty good. Knocking off blocks and doing all the other stuff I'm supposed to do. So I feel even better.
How would you describe the growth of Coletto after making his change from quarterback to linebacker, and what does he bring to your guys?
Coletto, I feel like he's a little ball hog. I don't know if he just like knows all the plays or something like that, but he's just everywhere when it comes down to the scrimmage and the offense. I don't know if he just knows everything, but he's a good player, and I can't wait to see him develop even more, get bigger, get stronger, and become even a better player that I know he could be.
Ham, how do you think opponents are going to defend you this year?
Honestly, I have no clue how they're going to come at me, but I got to be ready no matter what. Whether they're doing pull slide to me, they're sliding everywhere to me, double teaming me, no matter what, I got to be ready. And whether that's from me, but I feel like also other people got to be ready. Whether they double team me, that leaves somebody else open. So, you know, another outside linebacker, DN, or a D tackle, or somebody got to make a play.
As far as being a leader, are you more vocal or more lead by example? And how do you kind of go about being a leader?
Honestly, I feel like I'm both most of the time, but, you know, I feel like some people see me as a vocal leader and some people see me as an example leader. I see myself as both, but, you know, I rather lead by example sometimes. Honestly, a leader's a leader. Like Hodgins said, you know, it doesn't matter how you lead, but whether you do it the right way and everybody buy into your leadership, that's the right way.
Ham, what's a successful season for you? I know at your position you're often measured by tackles for loss and sacks, but what in your mind, what's a successful year for yourself?
Successful year, I believe it's not honestly about me. I don't care about stats right now. I care about winning every game each week. You know, I feel like we got a good defense, and, you know, I feel like we got a lot of improvements that we need to show out there on the field. So, you know, improvements even for me is that we get more Cal games like we did. You know, it was an all defensive game, and we came out and won that game. We had multiple sacks, multiple tackle for losses, and we interrupted their game plan. So I feel like successful is me leading my team to be a better defense.
Ham, you've seen a lot throughout your time here at Oregon State with this team. What is your feeling about this team this year?
Obviously, we lost some leaders. You know, you can never separate. You know, you can never get rid of a Blake and, you know, Gus and all these people, Jake Luton and stuff like that. But I feel like the offense will make strides, and, you know, defense, we're going to be good no matter what. I feel like we have a lot of good new talent coming in, and they're going to bring their own leadership and their own motors. So I feel like we're doing pretty good. You know, we got Teagan and other people like that that's going to carry us to the next step.
Having an offense that's younger and they're looking to replace some guys, how does the leadership from the defense translate into the offensive play?
Honestly, defense, we got to come out and beat the offense. You know, everybody knows we're supposed to be better than the offense. That should fire up the offense to be that much greater, you know. I feel like iron sharpen iron, like iron sharpen iron. So I feel like we got to be the ones to lead the way, you know. You know, offense should beat us, you know. Sometimes they beat us, sometimes they don't, you know. But we got to take that step and actually try to beat them every day so they get better when it's game day, when it gets really hard.